right, I call the meeting to order.
Jennifer Blakely,
Here?
Ann Trent.
Here.
Trudy Nicholson.
Here.
Dave Raymer.
Here.
And Lynn Vogt emailed and said he would be absent. Administrator Selby. Oh, Selby, where'd that
Well, I
come
don't
from?
know. Last of the 10.
Administrator Roth and Director Myers.
Here.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
Can I make a suggestion for a correction? On the very, very end, it says seconded by Dave Trent. So I'm not sure if it was me or who seconded it. I have no idea, but
Is there any money involved in seconding? If so, it'll be me.
it's one of us, so I don't know.
Oh, it says, where?
The very last line.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well,
So I'm not sure who it was.
You don't have an alias?
okay, well, I'll see if I can look that up.
I'm always ready to leave if you want me to say I
Oh, it
did
was
it.
you, Ann.
Was me. Okay, there you go. Well, I didn't know because it said Dave Trent. I was like, oh,
Okay,
maybe it's
those are
somebody else.
corrected.
And I make a motion based on the correction.
Second.
All right. Moving forward, new business? Sorry, my printer wasn't working, so I'm using,
Oh, something just came up recently, and I want to request that we get some new bids for fireworks for next year. I actually ran into someone who said that her family does it too, so we might as well get a couple bids for next year. Sure.
yeah, that would
Can
be
you
great.
forward their information to me?
Sure, okay.
Thank you.
Make a note.
All right, and then, do I do the speaker card, or do we have any other new business?
Didn't we have something on the agenda?
That's what I'm,
We don't have public participation on there, but it's fine, you can do
Okay.
it, yeah.
Sam Dean? Do I read his entire card, or does he?
No, he can come up
Okay.
and approach the,
So the real reason I'm here is because previously, I believe a representative of the partnership had made a request for roughly about $1,000, a little bit more than that, that you guys discussed at your last meeting, to contribute to our flower pot program. I am here to formally rescind that request and give an update on the program. So we did understand that your budget was limited this year for obvious reasons, so we wanted to take it upon ourselves to further that program, whether or not we could get that outside support. So I am pleased to tell you we had over 10 businesses locally in our downtown district contribute to an additional 5 more pots that have already been delivered, and flowers have already been planted in those pots. So that brings our present total number of pots to 10, doubling it from last year. So last year we did purchase 5. This year we purchased an additional 5, and it's looking like we may even get one more. So we did see that private support make up where we couldn't get the support here. But I just wanted to give you guys an update and let you know that that all went well. So thank you guys.
Yeah,
Very
thank
cool.
you.
Thank you. Thanks, Sam.
I appreciate you guys taking time to consider it, though.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, any other new business?
I don't have anything.
I don't,
Old business?
I didn't know if you wanted an update on the Red Cedar.
Sure.
I've got one for you if you like it. So the Red Cedar construction team has met twice, I think, since we've last met, and reviewed the construction schedule. The update is as followed. Right now, the tile is being installed in the floor and wall areas. Finished carpentry and trim is underway. The finished paint is underway. The restored bar windows are to be installed this week. They may be in now. I need to go by and look. Robert Brueggemann is coordinating the removal of a well that's on the site, but it's not going to really slow the process down. Just the finished grade would be slowed. If that doesn't happen quickly, I think it will in the next couple weeks. New electrical service is waiting on parts. The estimated time of arrival on those is about 4 weeks out. Electric lights and track lighting are all on order, about 4 weeks out also. The final grading should be completed in about 6 weeks. Refinishing of the floor, the wood floor area, is about 6 weeks away also. The drop ceilings and panels will be installed following the sanding and finishing of that floor to avoid dust getting up there in that ceiling. And then we have received verbal authorization from MoDOT right-of-way specialist Shelley Hines to proceed with construction of the parking lot, but we're getting it secured in writing before any construction would take place. So That's for the finish of the asphalt work from the Wintech building, or the Parks and Recreation building, all the way in front of Red Cedar. Both of those properties will be resurfaced and then replaced rather, and then sidewalk improved all the way down to the end of the building. So there's your update.
Does that include that hump in between the two parking lots? It's kind of just.
It will be
obstructed,
gone.
right? Okay, that's good. What are you building to if you're looking at the front door, what is all of that concrete to the front?
Sure, that's the second time I've got that question today. So in preparation for a pavilion in the future, the pavilion itself is not in the scope of work this go-round, but later on, this area that is got the concrete footing all around it, it will be filled to the top of that concrete with a packed rock, and then have a impervious surface on the top, so it'll be rock also, but a nicer grade of rock that'll be rolled and compacted to where it's a nice surface. But the elevations will be all brought up to that surface, and then you'll see a stair step in the back with large tree plantings, and that'll provide a backdrop to this pavilion. It'll all look really nice when it's done. For now, it'll just be a flat surface area,
Will the
But
pavilion be something that people can rent? Will it be a source of income?
most likely.
Okay, cool.
I would say so. Weddings and events of that type nature. It also, we have put in the infrastructure for the electric to be of a grade to where it will support larger events outside. So bandstand, lights, that kind of thing.
How big is it? Do you know
How big is that whole area? Steve, do you recall the exact dimensions? I'm
Just ballpark.
gonna take a guess of 150 feet
Okay.
by
So
75 or 80 feet, something like that.
some place where we could have like bands and fundraisers and, okay,
Cool.
that's exciting. All right. Was that it for our old business? So just something to put into our heads, what happened with the flower pots. I think we could get a lot more of that if we just ask people to go out and ask. You know, when I let Pat know that, hey, sorry, we're going to have to figure something else out. She went around to all the businesses, and the businesses were happy to contribute a portion of it. The partnership paid for the flowers, and then the dirt was donated. So I think if we just keep putting that responsibility, and, but put the responsibility on people to come up with ideas. I know there's a few other citizens that have been working on some Route 66 projects and looking into, reaching out to MoDOT and different things. You'll see Route 66 shields in some communities that travel down the Route 66 or inside businesses. They're talking to other people about if the murals are a problem on public space, then some buildings in town that have a great private space, but they're reaching out to the businesses and they're talking to people and they're getting bids on their own and then potentially coming here, but looking at it as, empowering them to get out and take action on their community. So I think that's a really good momentum. I
Great.
think that that's something to think about for the fireworks for next year, that, we look at what they were able to raise in a matter of 2 or 3 days to get their flower pots that they weren't going to be able to do, that maybe if we're proactive and, they start on fireworks and getting people excited this year, that maybe next year we can get some new bids. And so just kind of an update that I thought was kind of nice to hear people talking about different things that they're looking at and they're working on. Because I know there's been some talk about Route 66, but there hasn't been like a definitive plan of like, hey, this is what we're going to do to commemorate it.
Do we know anything more? I mean, on that?
We just have a handful of people that have signed up, and they haven't signed anything. They just have said they want to be a part of the Route 66 plan, but we have not met yet.
Okay. Because I've just, through the grapevine, I'll hear, they're talking about perhaps one thing of getting a mural on the side of one of the buildings, and basically like a color by numbers where families would pay to go up and paint that section And so the community would get involved, but it would also help pay for the project itself. So just some fun things like that, that I think just keeping it open and letting the community know that there's an opportunity for them to get involved.
That's great.
So that's all I had. We did have a budget. Was that something that needed to formally be amended? There was a discrepancy on the last meeting, and you figured out where some money that was in the miscellaneous, or?
Yes, I sent out that email. Yeah, that was moved over out of yours, so that line item went back into being in budget. That was it, though, other than marking that 10, I think it was 10,000 for the actual committee. That was the only other change.
Okay,
So that's going to the Board of Aldermen tonight
Tonight? Okay.
all right.
for the first reading.
Anybody else got anything? All right.
Nope,
Do we adjourn? Make a motion to adjourn?
Make it. Motion.
I'd second it.
Okay, got it.
Right. I think that goes down. We could probably put that one in the record books.
That was pretty fast.
Rick, you're an inspiration.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's. That had